Today we're going to investigate a word we all think we know, faith. But what if what most of us call faith isn't faith at all? What if it's actually fear, just wearing a very, very convincing disguise?
You know, from the time we're kids, it's drilled into us. Have faith. It's presented as this ultimate virtue, a source of strength, the cornerstone of being a good person. And for the most part, we just accept it. It's the default setting, the idea you're just not supposed to question.
But this is where we have to press pause. This is where the investigation really begins. What if that feeling, that thing we've been taught our whole lives to label as faith, isn't actually faith? What if we've mistaken it for something else, something more primal, that's just masquerading as belief?
So to really get to the bottom of this, we have to be crystal clear about our terms. We need to hold both faith and fear up to the light and see what they're really made of.
Okay, first, let's talk about faith. True faith. At its absolute core, it's trust. It's not panic, it's not pressure, and it's definitely not terror. And here's the most important part. It has to be voluntary. It's a choice you make, born from your own conviction, not because you've been threatened. Now, let's look at fear. Fear is sneaky. It doesn't barge in. It just seeps into a belief system. It hijacks our most basic survival instincts, the fear of punishment, the fear of rejection, and maybe the most powerful one of all, the fear of asking questions. The moment that happens, belief stops being about truth. It becomes about survival. And that leads us to this critical realization. So often what looks like faith from the outside is really just obedience on the inside. This is the disguise we're here to unmask.
So how can you tell the difference? How can you spot the imposter? Well, let's put these two forces, faith and fear, right next to each other. The contrast is, well, it's pretty stark.
Just look at the approach. A genuine, love-based faith gives you an invitation. It says, come and understand. It actually welcomes curiosity. But a fear-based belief, that issues a threat. It says, believe this or else. It's a command designed to shut down your questions before you can even think of them. And because of that, their goals are completely different. True faith is after an internal change. It wants to actually transform your heart. Fear doesn't care about your heart. Its only goal is to control your behavior. It just wants you to fall in line. So here's the litmus test, the big red flag you can use in your own life. The very second a belief system tells you don't question, or makes you feel like a traitor for being curious, you can be absolutely certain that fear has pushed trust right out the door.
I mean, why should it? A belief that's genuinely true shouldn't need to be protected from questions. It should welcome them. It should be able to stand up to scrutiny. After all, truth does not fear examination.
Now, this isn't just some theoretical exercise. All of this entire comparison, it all leads to one place, a very direct, very personal question for you. So I want you to really sit with this for a moment. If every single trace of fear of punishment, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, was completely wiped away tomorrow, would your belief still be standing? What exactly would be left? And your honest answer to that question, well, it brings us to the final choice. Because ultimately, this is all about a decision you've either already made, maybe without even realizing it, or one you have yet to make. Here's the core takeaway of this entire investigation. A faith that is chosen freely, with your eyes wide open, holds a kind of power that simple obedience, enforced by fear, could never, ever hope to match.
And so we end where we began, with a question, one that forces you to look past what you've been told and to examine the real foundation of your own convictions. Is it built on voluntary trust or on compulsory obedience? Obedience or belief? Which one have you truly chosen? That is a question only you can answer.